I'm very honored to be here today. And I must say that coming to NSE and especially to this auditorium of NSE has been always a matter of pleasure for me. This auditorium has seen a number of initiatives which have been landmark events in the growth of the financial market in this country. So it's a pleasure. And I want to compliment NSE and ET Now for jointly working out this strategy on investor education. We all know that in matters of investor education, while a number of initiatives have been taken together by various entities, SEBI itself has created the environment so that the funds required for these purposes can be earmarked, and whole lot of initiatives have been taken. But my understanding is that we must acknowledge the role played by media in spreading the message of investor education. I'm amazed at the way Indian media has, both print and electronic media, has gone about spreading this message, launching programs across various parts of the country. But what is important today is to note that both the intermediaries, and in this case National Stock Exchange, which is a very large institution, and ET Now are coming together to launch this initiative jointly. I'm sure this joint initiative will have a lot of multiplier effect, and it will reach out to corners where perhaps it has not reached. The one big advantage of tying up with a channel like ET Now is that while the captive audience, as you said, is 1,000, but the message will go out to perhaps millions of viewers all across the country. I must also say that the way you have designed the program, the format that has been designed, it will be something which will be very impactful, and I'm sure it will be very, very effective. So far as SEBI is concerned, we have been encouraging stock exchanges, mutual funds, and other intermediaries to take measures for investor education. By and large, the initiatives taken by various players in the market have been very effective. There may be one or two instances of not utilizing the money correctly, but that is an aberration which we should all ignore and move on. So I would like to compliment on this concept of Nivesh India. And I remember that when I was not working in SEBI and I was working in the industry, my organization had itself tied up with a media channel. And we had very, very good experience about the outcome of that particular event. The important thing to note is that for an uninitiated investor, for an investor who is perhaps going to be a first-time investor, he is a potential investor, there are a lot of worries in his mind, and he has heard a lot of stories. Some of them are horror stories that fraud can take place, or there is no guarantee for the money, so you will lose the money. At the same time, they also hear stories about people making 10-fold or 20-fold in a very short period of time, and people reach out to small investors, try to make out all sorts of promises. So a knowledge about the way investment can be made, a knowledge about the market is the first requirement when anybody can take a call. You may be a doctor, an engineer, a teacher, or a very good professional in an own area, but when it comes to making investments, it requires a certain amount of preparedness, it requires a certain amount of knowledge. And that is where all these initiatives are going to be very, very helpful. Unfortunately, in our country, workers' retirement money in an organized way was not being invested in the market. Fortunately, now a decision has been taken and the EPFO has already started investing into the market. For me, it is a big acknowledgement of trust in the Indian market, a trust in the Indian regulatory system, that now workers' money is coming into the market. And I'm sure other pension funds will also start looking at the opportunity that the Indian market can provide in the long run. So this worry about a very small percentage of investors coming into the market while it is a genuine worry, we should not worry too much about it, because once the institutional money, where the combined lifelong savings of workers start coming into the market, we'll be making a lot of progress. And if you look around the world, you will find that even in the developed world, the industry has progressed only when the retirement savings have started coming into the market. So I regard 2015 as a very, very important year, and I have personally been involved in this whole effort for more than 15 years now. So after more than 15 years of effort, we have now seen that there is an acknowledgement about the market, and pension money has started coming in. I'm sure this is only a beginning. This is a small trickle that is happening. But once people realize that the regulatory system is in place, the market is being well regulated, the market is meeting the aspirations, especially the long-term aspirations of the worker, more and more will happen. But the worry today in India is that while we are talking of the organized market, we are talking of the SEBI regulated system, but there are hundreds of examples, thousands of examples, where uninitiated investors are being lured into coming into products which are unauthorized products. And you know some names, some examples where in the remotest corners of the country on all sorts of bargains, money has been raised and people have lost their money. So this investor, this investor education, I'm sure, will not only tell the viewers about how to go about investing in the market, but also provide enough caution for people to safeguard them from any possible misuse by unauthorized persons. While we are doing our thing in this area, as you know, as a regulator, our first attempt is to educate the people, also to have the systems in place. But when it comes to action, we cannot be found lacking. So, for example, if you look at the orders passed by SEBI in the last 2 years, you will be happy to note that in 225 cases we have passed orders where unauthorized money has been collected. We have a mechanism called a cease and desist order, where we pass a direction about people not to come into the market any longer. We prohibit them. That's technically it's an order under section 11B of the SEBI Act. In the year 2014-15, we have passed 670 such orders, whereas in the previous years, in 13-14, the total orders was only 207. So you can imagine that we are getting into this area much more seriously about the enforcement area. But while enforcement is required to penalize those who are misusing the system, the whole attempt of SEBI, stock exchanges, and all of us should be to make people aware about how to avoid being lured into something which will not be in their best interest and which will also be in the long run disruptive. In this manner, I would like to tell you a few things about what SEBI has been doing. I don't want to narrate each and everything that we have been doing, but just to give an idea on investor education, besides what stock exchanges and mutual funds are doing, we in SEBI in the last 3 years, we have launched 25,000 investor awareness programs from our own money, from our own funds, and we have a system called resource persons. And these people go out to schools and colleges and in the smaller towns, 25,000. We have around 400 resource persons. And by the end of this year, 2015-16, our target is that in each and every district of this country, we will have one resource person. So that is the direction in which we are moving. We also had a large number of TV commercials. We had a large number of radio spots. We have sent millions of SMSs to people about making them aware about unauthorized money collection. However, no one agency can handle this thing on its own. While SEBI, stock exchanges and mutual funds are doing their bit, this partnership between media, which has a huge reach, and stock exchanges or mutual fund is the right course. So I'm very, very happy that this initiative has been taken today. I'm also very happy about the format in which it has been designed, and I'm sure it will make a very, very big impact in the country. I wish you all the best for this initiative, and I'm sure more and more of these things will come through NSE and ET Now in future. Thank you very much.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.